Well, hello. It's DBA760, and it's time for the Week 8 assignments. As you can tell, we're on an upbeat note here. We've got a little rocky music going on, indicating that we're near the end of our training, and I'm thinking about vacation. Well, Week 8 is a bit different in that there are no assigned readings. And we're going to be talking more from a personal perspective from your perspective, what was beneficial about this particular course. So these discussion posts and the paper are going to be pretty much related. I'd like you to review the materials from the course and some of the discussions that you were involved in, and look at what you think might be the most beneficial aspect or aspects of the course. What you think could be modified in the course, what things could be omitted, or what things could be added, what things could be changed. And then to be very specific, what was your top 3 articles you would think were most important to you in understanding from where you started to where you ended up in your understanding of the topic and field of strategic management. Okay. The paper is going to be related. Here I'd like you to work from the perspective of what you would consider the 5 most important aspects to you that you've learned. Now, I'm not looking for a description of the 5 theories that you thought were most important. I'm thinking more of your development of your thinking. Remember, we started out discussing, is strategic management actually a field? What are the types of theories that are being developed? Those theories valid? Here are the major fields of thinking in the area, the Mintzberg, the Porter, the Barney, and the developments after those. And then we kind of wrapped it up with where the new theories were going, and also how the theories in strategic management have been validated or tested, why they exist, why they've become popular in all our textbooks. And when we talk about strategic management, it's hard to avoid the 5 forces or the resource-based theory. These are just things that have now become part of the lexicon of strategic management, and as was written in some of the papers in Week 7, strategic management has achieved a goal of becoming an academic discipline. It's taught in schools. There are majors in strategic management, so it's achieved that particular point in time. So what I'd like you to, again, reflect on is sort of like how has this changed your thinking in terms of understanding how theory develops, how a field develops, how there are different points of view, all those sorts of things, because this will not only apply to strategic management, but wherever you go from here, whichever your concentrations you're going to be going into, whatever other classes you're going to be taking, the fundamental issues are the same. There are theories developed, there are points of view taken on those theories. The theories will evolve and turn into something else in reflection of not only what other people have said about the theories, but in terms of the way the world is changing. Of course, in the field of business and in management, things are constantly changing, and theories need to reflect those changes to stay relevant. Okay, so that is, again, part of what we've been trying to address in class. So the keys to success for this week is, again, to review the discussions and the papers that you've been involved with in the past 7 weeks. From my personal perspective, the discussions have gone through a major improvement from the very first weeks to the last week, and you're really getting on track with regards to how to develop a discussion, how to refer to the literature, how to use it to make a point, and then how to work with your classmates to develop a deeper and more insightful understanding of the particular topic that you've chosen to discuss. And then, what I'm always looking for in a class is improvement in the direction that I think it needs to go. And so I would say, for the most part, every one of you has done a great job in improving your ability to engage in discussions, your ability to really dig into the articles, into the literature, and present very thoughtful, very insightful points of view, and advance the discussion, which is what I'm always saying. You're looking to advance the discussion. So look at your papers, look at your discussions to decide what you want to talk about this week. Review the articles, and I'd like you to consider not only the content, which is, of course, the strategic management theories and their evolution and development, but also the way the class was run on the basis of we started with the early literature, we looked at the concept of theory, we looked at how the theory developed through different phases. So that is kind of my approach, and I find it useful because as you think of streams of literature and developing your own research topics, you need to be able to understand the evolution and be able to track the foundations and where different ideas are coming from. So in a way, the orientation of the class, the structure of the class was set up to kind of match how streams of literature develop. As you look at the articles and try to decide what your top 3 were going to be, you can also say, I thought this one was a waste of time, or this one was redundant, I thought we could have done this, because I'm always looking at ways to improve the class, and so making changes actually as we're going through this class. And if you can let me know your thoughts on where you thought maybe we were missing something, where we could have gone with something else, whether we could have gone into something different that was different than what we did, that's fine. I'm looking for that sort of feedback. That only helps me. And finally, learning is a continuous process. And if you go back and look at what you knew about the topic and what you knew about theory and development in week 1 to what you know about it now, I hope most of you see that you made a significant improvement, and not that you're done doing that now. This is going to continue on. So everybody starts in a different place, everybody finishes in a different place, and what I try to do is measure that level of improvement over time. So before we close things up, I've got a couple of kind of finishing slides to go here. One, of course, we always like to finish with a Dilbert or start with a Dilbert, and here we're talking about change. Change, of course, is one of the continuous things in management that we've got to deal with. Business is always changing, and planning needs to reflect that kind of change. So here we have our CEO who says, you must learn to embrace change. Dilbert raises his hand. Can we change anything we want to change? Oh, no, you can't get to say what the changes are. That's my job. I say what the changes are. Alice says, well, is that situation ever going to change? No. Well, why not? You said change is good. Well, change is good for other people. So embrace change or I'm going to fire you. We all love change. So as I'm sure you're aware, we're entering the end of the semester week here, and we're going to have a couple of weeks of Christmas and New Year's holiday vacation time coming up, at least from school. So I'd like to leave you with best wishes for the holidays. Enjoy it with friends and family, and I will see you in the next semester. But until then, get out there and do some caroling. Hang up your stockings over the fireplace, and maybe Santa will bring you something. And those of you in a northern climate, make a snowman. Be sure you get your list into Santa so he can bring you something when he's making his around-the-world trip on Christmas Eve. But until next time, I wish you goodbye, good luck, and happy holidays.